Hello, everyone. Part 3 is here. We're going to talk about mission, your vision, and your uniqueness, which is your identity, huh?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's also known as peculiar.
Peculiar.
And add the three together, it's what we call MVP: mission, vision, and peculiar.
Yeah.
So you can create an MVP for everything in your life. It starts with you is your identity. What is your life mission? What is your life vision? And what makes you peculiar that no other person on the face of the earth can duplicate or do it just? And it's literally, how do you love well?
Yeah.
It's unique to you. So should we dive right in?
Yeah, I was just going to mention that, we go through identity crisis every single day. And that if we're choosing to build up our identity and change it and die to a new self to create a new identity is what's going to move us forward, right? And I mean, we go through that. I just went through it just minutes ago and getting stuck in something and swirling in it. And that's well, we're going to talk about how to actually come out of it and create a new mission and vision and how to stick to it.
So we'll start with mission, and I'll break it down. I'll kind of give the quick synopsis, and I'll break it down. Mission is your purpose, who you want to become, what you have been called to do, your life's work, brings you to action, makes you intentional in what you do, and how you contribute. So if you don't know what that is, whatever area in your life you don't know what your mission is, that area will be an area where somebody will be paying you to fulfill their mission. Hear me.
Yeah.
Once you discover your mission, you will have the keys to unlocking your creation and going after it to where you pay others to help you fulfill your mission, whether it's by them donating time, money, resources to you, or you hire them,
Yeah.
And so the mission is ultimately your identity, who you are, and your life, and everything you do, and the achievement of your goals and dreams are a byproduct and a result of your identity. So we got to start with the identity first.
Yeah.
Then everything else branches out from that. Now, the vision is the dreaming part of yourself. It's envision your best self, your best future, your best future, and the best version of you. Again, identity. What is the best version of you? Just describe it. Use your 5 senses in describing. What does it look like, sound like, feel like? Be descriptive. Okay, the more colorful you can make it, the more likely you're going to tap into some emotions that, if you go deep enough, it should bring emotions that could make you cry or feel like crying, because it taps into something that's really deep and near and dear and precious to you.
Yeah.
Create victory cycles and timelines. Ask yourself, what do I want? The first question to create your mission and vision is, well, what do you want? Well, if you're overly spiritual about things, some people might say, well, I just want what God wants. Great.
He wants for you. What do you want for yourself?
What would you say to God if God asked you that question? It's not that God doesn't know. He just wants you to identify it so that you can take ownership and responsibility for it and go after it. And then you ask him for wisdom on guiding your path through that. But he wants you to take responsibility to discover what you want so that you can sink your teeth into it and take ownership of it. And then, okay. It's like God asked Solomon, what do you want? Ask whatever you want and I'll give it to you. God did that to a couple different people in the Bible, where he asked them a question. And it's not that God didn't know. God just asks, when he asks you a question, it's because he knows the importance for you to identify those things in your life. Yes.
Yeah.
And once you identify it, then you can take responsibility. If God just piles it all in your lap and tells you everything and tells you to go left, right, and every little decision, guess what? That's a huge temptation for blame shifting and not taking responsibility for your life, blaming it all on God and then staying stuck. Guess what? If you're stuck in your life, it's because you have not created a mission for it, and you need to start doing that so that you can go, Okay, I need to go after it.
And, I was just thinking too, is that, we can look at it and say lack of action is lack of vision, right? But there's also this, so many people are busy. I can look at my life too, and sometimes I am extremely good at being busy. Like that is one of the skills that I mastered since I was a little child, of being busy. But purposeful and intentional action towards your mission, towards your vision, that's what's going to give you results and fulfillment, not just taking action, whatever.
And people that are always busy and never have time for the things that are important to them are the people that have not defined their mission, their vision, and their peculiarity. They haven't,
Yeah.
if you have not defined your MVP and for yourself, you will be busy doing things that will not be moving you forward towards what you are designed and created to produce.
Yeah.
You'll either be busy with video games and watching movies, or you'll be busy as a workaholic at your job, going in circles
and say yes to everything.
Yeah, saying yes to everything, always busy, because you're trying to fill a vacuum to find purpose and fulfillment in something that you'll never find purpose and fulfillment in because you don't own it. It's not yours.
Yeah.
You're fulfilling somebody else's mission.
That's right.
And there's a time and a season for that, apprenticeship and training and coaching and mentoring and teaching, whether it's a job, going to school or whatever. However, that should only be for a season. So now let's move into peculiar. This part is tied to the mission. How you love well, okay, is ultimately your peculiar as your identity. But the peculiar is tied to the mission. Your creation is set apart and unique. And that can be, by the way, your MVP can have to do with your identity, your business, your legacy, a thing or an invention or an idea.
A project.
Yeah, project. So anyhow, what you believe informs the action you take. The truth is your best future. Walk it out as if it's already done. There are tangible benefits of understanding what makes your creation peculiar. Confidence and courage. No longer holding you back. Ability to make decisions without apologizing, not swayed by others' opinions. Once you know you're peculiar, you cannot be offended in that thing. If you're not confident in your peculiar and your uniquenesses, guess what? People can tease you, mock you, and question you, and it will shake you because you're not confident and courageous in that because you're apologizing for yourself, for who you are.
That's good.
You'll get teased in the area of your uniqueness and peculiarities as a child frequently. That seems to be a pattern that we notice a lot, but it doesn't stop there into adulthood, especially in our modern world of social media. You toss your peculiar out there or your MVP, guess what? You're opening a can of worms for everyone's opinions, telling you how you're wrong. Oh, okay. That's for another day, but
your life, huh?
You've hit onto your peculiar once you present it, and it creates a flurry of people agreeing or disagreeing with you because it's your identity is your identity, and the more confident you become in who you are, the less you will feel challenged, triggered, and offended when other people don't agree with you.
That's good.
So now I have a few nuggets to share about identity. And again, MVP is always about starting with your identity. Why? Because you can only create a reality in your life. Now, this is literally Bible and spirituality down to a science of just picking apart with the nuts and bolts. So if you're a believer or a Christian or not, it doesn't matter. Either way, it's going to work because these are laws and principles that 1 + 1 will always equal 2. Okay. We can go down the religious path or the science path. It's going to work either way. You can only create a reality in alignment with that which you perceive yourself to be. Identity is at the root of everything you are and produce in your life. You fix your life with behavior, but you fix behavior with belief in identity. You must let go of who you are to become the person you need to become. And here's the golden nugget that I love. We don't achieve goals. We achieve identities, characters, and self-images. It's through the achievement of a new self that our goal manifests as a byproduct. Your identity and sense of self is the product, and your situation is the byproduct. You will produce your own reality. You are the cause, the goal is the effect or the achievement thereof. So if you want to change your reality, change your perspective. How do you change your perspective? Create an MVP. Identify it. This is how you create a new perspective. Is first of all, identify what you want. And so, and last but not least, the chains of identity are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken on your own without assistance. So
yeah,
that's MVP and the importance of it. Hopefully that's sunk deep enough to grab a hold of it. Go create your identity. And I'm going to turn it over to my wife to close, add final thoughts. And
yeah, that was so good and so deep. And just know that you can listen to this video again and again and again. If you need help, please reach out. That's why we're here. And we're working through things ourselves, you know, constantly leveling up, constantly learning, constantly, you know, of reviewing what's, you know, is it the reality is what we really want? Where do we need to tweak it? Where do we need to go and change things or uproot things and plant new things? You name it. So it is ongoing process. Just know that when you create something, it's not just going to be that you might have to do more and more things to it, which is great, which is totally normal and natural. It's like that in everything. So blessings to you. Let us know if this was helpful, and hopefully it was. Your comments below would tell us that as well.
see you in the next video.
That's right. Bye.